Right, back on top of the hill again, and you might be able to see behind me, I talked earlier on about the way that this part of the coast has been open to invasion, and right behind me is a pillbox that was built to repel possible Germans attack in the Second World War. There's several of these right the way, well several, there's a lot of them right the way across along the south coast, and even inland to a degree as well, like sentry posts. If I sort of pan around, if I show you the view behind me, you might be able to see we're looking right down onto the coast, right down onto the sea. Not a very good day for it, I must admit, but from here, on a nice day, nice sunny day, you could probably see France from here if the weather conditions were right, and that's obviously why this pillbox was put in place. A great lookout point right the way across you can see for miles and miles up here. So lots of these around. We have got what they call Martello Towers, which were built to repel Napoleon all those years ago in the sort of early 1800s, late 1700s. And some of those are around as well, not here, a lot of those have been destroyed, but so you see these sort of relics from the Second World War, as well as sort of the gates etc from Winchelsea to repel the French and other invaders from the sort of 13th century. So you've got a wide spread of history around this part of the world. I don't know if you can see behind me, I've got all these, I'll pan up a bit, all these chestnut trees around. I was saying this sort of walk you can get all these different things for free, like some sort of berries that you can get, but unfortunately a bit late for that, free apples, mushrooms, and now I found chestnuts, and I don't know if anyone knows what sweet chestnuts are like, but nice and crunchy, free, and very, very tasty. You could sustain yourself excuse me, you could sustain yourself on this walk. Just stop off for one quick pint of a bitter, which is fairly natural as well, and you could live off the land. No, that's not bad, is it? That's one thing I like about this walk. This time of year as well. Lots of people are doing vlogs about autumn, and here we have some nice trees here as well, and nice chestnuts, and all free as well. Very nice. Well, this is, I'd say, apart from it being a scenic walk, it's a bit of a nature ramble. So with all the different plants and different animals. And here we've got lots of little piglets. I don't know if you can see those. If I sort of pan in a little bit, there's tiny little piglets down here. I've never seen them around before, not here anyway. As I might have just said, getting towards the end now. This is a place called Wickham Manor. I don't know the age of it, but it's a very old sort of property around here. And once again, some renovations going on. Loads and loads of sheep, as you can probably see. Always very inquisitive they are. But I was reading about Winchelsea yesterday, and when the new town had to be built, they had to sort of acquire the land from somewhere. Now I did see the sort of manor of Wickham being mentioned, so I should imagine there's been a sort of a manor house and that on this sort of part of the land, certainly for about 1,000 years getting on for now. So once again, another example of all that sort of history. And I'm going to be walking around here. I see there's loads and loads of sheep. I was saying before that they couldn't, they've not been able to move them at the moment, and if I sort of pan in, I'll give you a better view in a minute, but that's another one of those gates. That's actually the new gate. I say the new gate, still built in the early 1300s. Well, here we are. This is a better view of the new gate. You can see how narrow the road is. As I said before, this is one of the three gates. We had the new gate, the Strand gate and the town gate, and they were the sort of the three entrances into the old, or the new settlement of Winchelsea. They built it on a hill. I don't know if I mentioned that before, obviously to keep it away from the sea slightly, because of the problems that they had with the old one being washed away. And wouldn't you know it, as soon as I get towards the end of the walk, the sun starts shining. It's absolutely gorgeous out here now. There goes another type of fungi. I don't think I'm going to take that one home and eat that one. It looks alright, but you never know. You have to be very, very careful with these mushrooms or fungi. Some of them are beautiful to eat, and others are actually deadly poisonous. So I don't know if you get these in other parts of the world. I'd be interested to know actually. Well, I'm pretty much towards the end of the walk. If I sort of pan around there slightly, you might be able to see the bit of brickwork to an ancient sort of priory that's up there at the start of Winchelsea. I've gone right around in a full circle now. The walk itself is only about sort of 4.5–5 miles, but very varied. As I said, lots of walking by the river and all the wildlife. That's one of the things I like about this particular walk, especially at this time of year, is all the wildlife that's around, obviously all the sort of free food and that's around as well. And I've not met a soul all the way around, apart from obviously going into the into the pub and having a beer in there. But no other walkers, no other people, and it's pretty close. You might be able to hear some of the cars around. That's the only trouble with little towns like Winchelsea, as I just showed you. The roads themselves are quite narrow because they were built in the sort of 1300s, etc., and they weren't meant for cars, so it can be a bit of a bit disappointing in some ways, but that's just the way of the world, as I said earlier on, so that's the way it is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this walk. I hope to do, obviously keep these going, doing a few more. If you live in this part of the world and you've got any sort of suggestions as for places that maybe I could go to, and I have got some. For example, I intend to go to the battlefield up at Battle for the Battle of Hastings, so I wanted to see some more fossils. So apart from me being an old fossil, maybe we can sort that out at some time, go back over the sort of chalk cliffs as well. And as I said, maybe something about smuggling and over towards Rye. And I'd also like to do some more in London as well, because a lot of people seem to like the one in London. So I'll probably give you a shot from up the top of the hill very, very shortly. But that's just about it for me. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I can imagine that this is probably going to end up being split into three parts, because I've decided that I don't want to edit these too much, because I don't like editing that much, as I keep saying. Anyway, thanks for your company. I'll speak to you again very, very shortly. Goodbye.